So we have 2 more races before the lunch break. After junior road tax, we now go to our biggest contingent, senior road tax, a total of 20 drivers. And here is your grid for the race itself. Philipp Hamprecht and Luca Köstler will be on the front row in the 337 and the 366. Then it's Linus Hensen in the 333 and Luca Thiel in the 399. Fabian Bock in the 318, and then Jan Heinen in the 316, round out row 3. The 303 of Tim Mika Metz, and then Yuri Tenhef in the 306 will be on row number 4. Completing the top 10 will be the 312 of Lukas Thompson, with Lukas Wawrzynak in the 369, rounding out the top 5 rows. Denny Berndt and Lukas Hartmann in the 383 and the 309 are on row 6. Finn Stiak in the 338 and Yannick Hermann in the 325 on row number 7. Julia Ponkratz in the 307 will be ahead of Max Busch in the 313. Rounding out the 20-strong grid, the 329 of Bastian Barlager, the 305 of Lasse Reinhardt, the 304 of Norton Griffith Falke, and Vivian Michel Heit in the 328 completes the 20-strong grid. 14 minutes for this particular occasion, plus an additional lap before we head into our final race before the Saturday lunch break. And we've already had one driver pulled to the side, and that is Jan Heinen, who would have started on the outside of row number 3. So there will be 19 drivers taking the start. Jan Heinen despondently, unfortunately, walking away in disappointment after the kart broke down on the formation lap. As we've got one trying to catch up to the rest of the grid, as the leaders will start bringing the carts around the final corner. Hamprecht and Köstler on the front row. Revs rise. Accelerators are pushed down hard. Lights go out. We are racing. And it looks like a really good start there from Linus Hensen, trying to go up the inside to take the lead from Hamprecht, who keeps ahead for the moment. As drivers are going nearly 3 abreast, and we've had a little bit of a turnaround there. Multiple carts trying to go wide, and one clatters in, and the back right on the kart takes a hefty hit. And the driver that now rejoins in the correct direction is Yuri Tenhaf in the 306. As now drivers trying to filter their way through, as the 307 of Julia Ponkratz gets overtaken from both the left and the right hand side, going into the penultimate part of the circuit here at Muelsen. But at the moment, Philipp Hamprecht leading the way from Linus Hensen. Oh, moment for the leader, off into the gravel, off of the penultimate corner. Hamprecht having dramas there, and now trying to get the kart out unassisted. Yellow flags waved. Linus Hensen now leads. And then it is Luca Thiel up into 2nd position. Battle for 4th place between Köstler and Tim Mika Metz. As even though there is a dry line starting to really make itself known, as it's nearly 3 abreast coming out of turn 4, heading to the infield straightaway. As we've had another drama, there's one driver that's just gone off of turn 3. So Hensen getting away, but then the battle for 4th position is between, I think Tim Mika Metz is just at the head of it, and Lukas Thompson now down into 5th place. So Hamprecht having dramas on the penultimate corner, and it looks like the kart is not going anywhere. So it's a real shame for the driver who came into this race as the pole sitter. Hensen comes around the final corner. Goes on to lap number 3. Luca Thiel. Luca Köstler now up into 3rd place ahead of Tim Mika Metz and Lukas Thompson, who ran at the top 5. Fabian Bock up into 6th. Bastian Barlager all the way up now, as there has been a drama for another kart that's gone off, and that is the 312. So Lukas Thompson will drop out of the top 5. So Julia Ponkratz is just one position away from getting into the top 10, having started towards the back end of the field. When we went lights out just under 3 minutes ago, with Linus Hansen leading by 2.5 seconds ahead of Luca Thiel. Battle for third place now between Luca Köstler and Tim Mika Metz. So plenty of battles all the way up and down the order. As Ponkratz closing on the back bumper of Hermann for P10. Heading towards the penultimate corner. And it looks like Ponkratz has got the move done. As the senior Rotax field makes their way across the line, as it's definitely getting a bit feisty out there. Norton Griffin Falca went up the inside there of Yannick Hermann going into turn 2. And Yuri Tenhaf also trying to get stuck in there. But at the moment, Linus Hansen still continuing to lead proceedings. And the 333 will cross the line very shortly. But in the meantime, the gap between Hansen and Luca Thiel was just under 1.3 seconds, but that gap is going down. That is absolutely ridiculous there. Luca Thiel just goes in and puts in a 56.197. Fastest lap of the race on lap number 4. Henson. Oh, Henson's going to lose out the lead. Thiel's trying to go around to the outside. Henson goes defensive. And up the inside goes Luca Thiel to get the switchback there on Linus Hansen. That's a great move for the lead there. But look at the battle behind for 4th and 5th place. Fabian Bock and Tim Mika Metz dicing it out. Coming through that chicane. But that was a brilliant textbook move there of using the opportunity and the run of momentum on the infield straightaway by Luca Thiel. Henson in second. But whilst that has happened, Luca Köstler looks to have closed the gap in the 366. Tim Mika Metz in 4th place. Fabian Bock 5th. Lukas Thompson in 6th ahead of Bastien Barlage in the 329. Lead now is in the hands of Luca Thiel, who did that fantastic switchback maneuver just a few corners ago. But Henson on the counter-offensive, trying to go in towards the same corner. Let's see what the 333 has in store for the leader. Can't really get past at the minute, having to wait until the next straightaway to try and get back the momentum. But Köstler now not too far behind, closing on the 333 for second position. Now blue flags are actually being waved to some of the drivers that are a bit further down the order. So drivers are going to start getting lapped very shortly. As now, Köstler trying to close on Henson going into the penultimate corner. As the leaders now come around the final corner. Great lead now by Luca Thiel. Henson on the back foot. Köstler trying to close. And they were 0.3 of a second adrift of each other last time around. Köstler using Henson. Oh, he's going to try and slingshot past him. Side by side nearly for second position. Köstler to the outside. Henson to the inside on the defensive racing line. The 333 from Kachmi.ee keeps the position. But a good run there by Köstler to try and close up on Linus Hansen. So we've had 4 retirements so far in this race, with 7 minutes and 28 seconds on the clock still to go. As Henson and Köstler still battling away over second position. And let's see if Köstler gets the run this time. Out through the final corner comes Luca Thiel. Köstler on the back bumper again of Henson, coming around the final corner. Drivers were, the gaps now has gone down to 0.214 on that particular occasion. And again, well, he's just powered round the outside as Luca Köstler on Linus Hansen there for second position on the infield straightaway. That was a great move. As the 383, well, the 313 and Max Busch trying to get up the order down in 14th position, but that was a great run of momentum. Looked like Köstler had a better braking opportunity going into turns 2 and 3 and made the move happen. 6 minutes and 34 seconds plus an additional lap. Still to go in the first of 3 senior Rotax races here So now the drivers are going to have to watch out for the back markers. Will have to watch out for those closing on them. And now the fight is really on, because the top four are now starting to close on each other. This is starting to concertina very, very quickly indeed. Gap between Luca Thiel, who's leading, and Luca Köster, who is in second, now 1.3 seconds. As Lasse Heinhardt and Juri Teinhaf now battling over what is 11th position behind Lukas Wawrzyniak in the 369, who rounds out the top 10. Linus Hensen now 0.4 of a second adrift off of Köster. Tim Miekemetz 0.9 off on that last lap, and set a 54.400 lap time, taking the fastest lap of the race on lap number 9. So leaders coming around the final corner. Thiel still leads. Gap now 1.352 seconds. Linus Hensen, Tim Miekemetz now closing. Lukas Thompson has just put in the fastest lap of the race and is one of 2 drivers on that lap, including Voik Motorsport's Tim Miekemetz, who've gone sub 54 seconds. Miekemetz did a 53.917. Lukas Thompson did a 53.643. Luca Thiel is running in the low high 54.0s, a 54.096 last time around. So the pace now increasing. The dry line is starting to manifest itself on the circuit. 4.5 minutes to go. Leaders crossing the line yet again. Gap now down. That's the top 4 now going into the high 53s. But the quickest of all of them as Lukas Thompson now up into 5th place. So Luca Thiel is leading, but by 1.143 seconds, as Köster now has the fire in the belly well and truly stoked. 53.573, the fastest lap out of anybody in this race. Linus Hensen 53.673 and Tim Miekemetz 53.746. So blue flags being waved at the penultimate corner. But with this comes a different aspect of the race now. We're going into the dying stages of it. And the back marker traffic will have to quickly get out of the way, because the drivers that are closing, as now Luca Köster goes even quicker by 0.310 off of the previous fastest lap, and it's put the benchmark up to a 53.327 and has closed the gap to Luca Thiel from JJ Racing to 0.744. 3.25 minutes still to go. Hensen 3rd. Tim Miekemetz 4th. Lukas Thompson, Bastian Barlager. As Norton Griffin Falke, Max Busch battling away over 13th. Well, I think it was Yannick Hermann and Lucas Hardman that crossed the line just now. 16 drivers still competing. So Barlage, Denny Bount, Fabian Bock, Julia Ponkratz, Lukas Wawrzyniak in the 369 rounds out the top 10 ahead of Juri Teinhaf, Lasse Heinhardt with Norton Griffin Falke now in 13th position. Luca Thiel has now responded. Tim Miekemetz is the first driver out of the entire field to go sub 53 seconds and is closing. And it's only 0.3 of a second behind Linus Hensen. So 2nd, 3rd and 4th really starting to close up on each other, as Luca Thiel put in a 53.129. Luca Köster put in a 53.318. So it's slightly slower on that particular occasion. So the gap now up to just over 0.9 of a second. Max Busch now gets past Norton Griffith Falke for 13th position. As now 2nd to 4th position. Hensen is being closed in on by Tim Miekemetz, whereas Luca Thiel is now starting to break away. Hensen now closing on Köster into turn 2. As they come nearly side by side, but Köster keeps the position for the minute. Tim Miekemetz getting a double toe coming out of turn number 3 as they go into the infield part. So Köster now has to hang on for about 1.5 minutes plus an additional lap but it depends on how quickly Henson and Tim Mikametz close up. And Tim Mikametz closing up at the back of Linus Henson for P3. They now go on to the final part of the circuit, up towards the double right-hander. So whilst the top three, the three from second to fourth have been battling away, Luca Thiel has just gotten away. It was 1.5 seconds, the gap. As now Henson slingshots up the inside of Köster going into turn 2. It's now nearly 2 seconds. So Köster now couldn't really have that much of a defensive strategy against Linus Henson, but then we'll have to worry about whether he's going to have to attack or defend, because behind the 3.66 is now the 3.03 of Tim Mikametz. But Köster now has the opportunity to have a counter-offensive on Linus Henson. 24 seconds on the clock plus an additional lap still to go. So Luca Thiel running away with it, but second, third and fourth. Battle not over yet. 12 on the clock. It's going to be close, but Luca Thiel will have this plus another additional lap afterwards. That was 4 seconds on the clock when Thiel crossed the line. Henson as Mikametz goes up the inside of Köster to take P3 through turn 2. But then Köster quickly on the counter-offensive, the pair side by side. Köster to the outside, Tim Mikametz gets back past for the P3. So now this is going to allow Linus Henson to get past as Mikametz goes ultra defensive on Köster, who's trying to get past, back for third position. So in a matter of a couple of laps, Luca Köster drops from second to fourth position as Lasse Heinhardt is battling away with Max Busch for 12th position. The 3.05 just ahead of the minute. Last lap board being shown to Luca Thiel from JJ Racing. Henson second. Mikametz in third place. Köster now in fourth. Lukas Thompson rounding out the top 5 ahead of Bastien Barlage. Denny Bount in 7th. Fabian Bock, Julia Ponkratz rounding out the top 9 positions. And the gap between Luca Thiel and Linus Henson was over 2.3 seconds as Tim Mikametz trying to fend off Luca Köster for the third place in this race. And they're fast running out of corners as Luca Thiel takes the calmest glance over the left-hand shoulder that I've seen in a very, very long time, and knows that the job is in hand as Tim Mikametz and Luca Köster trying to battle away. Mikametz goes up the inside, but the win goes to Luca Thiel. Linus Henson takes second place, and by literally 0.037 of a second, Tim Mikametz holds on to third place at the flag ahead of Kraft Motorsport's Luca Köster. Lukas Thompson takes 5th. Bastien Barlage takes 6th ahead of Fabian Bock. Julia Ponkratz would end up finishing in 8th position ahead of Denny Bount. Lucas Hartmann will be classified in 15th. Juri Tenhef now takes 10th ahead of Wawrzyniak. Max Busch takes 12th at the line by over 0.3 of a second ahead of Lasse Heinhardt, with Norton Griffith Falke in 14th ahead of Lucas Hartmann. Yannick Herrmann, I think we're just waiting to cross the line now. He takes the checkered flag as the 16th and final driver to finish this race. Vivian Michel Haidt would end up retiring on lap 3. Finn Stiak on lap 2, with Philipp Hamprecht and Jan Heinen unfortunately retiring on the very first lap.